She made her students come in on Saturdays. This 10th grade teacher, Mrs. Hayes, spent 6 months trying to make it mandatory for students to come in on Saturdays. But the principal, "It's a weekend, Hayes. You can't force kids to come in." Mrs. Hayes didn't argue much. She just smiled and went on her way. But she spent the next 3 weeks building a secret final exam. Friday afternoon, 3 p.m., the entire class gets an email. Saturday session, not required, but encouraged. About a quarter of the students showed up. The rest of the class didn't because, well, it was a Saturday. "Good morning, scholars. I'm about to share with you something exclusive." She then taught what was going to be on next week's exam, but then she passed out a packet. A cipher code. A code that would directly relate to how the students filled out the test. And if you didn't have this code, you would fail the test. Well, Monday comes around and she passes out this 50-page packet, and it looks like it was written in Egyptian. Miss, I can't read this." "The translation guide was provided during our Saturday session. You have 45 minutes to complete the exam." Absolutely insane. She gave students a key code on that Saturday to a test that she wrote in her own made-up language to trick the other students. That's nuts. The parents rioted, the principal got involved, but somehow she didn't get in trouble at all. "Mrs. Hayes, hey, listen, the Saturday session was optional, but I could still make the test whenever I want, right?" And I guess she was right. That's crazy. There was a school in Florida that tried to monetize the bathroom. It's so messed up. They gave every student 3 restroom credits a month. And if you ran out, each additional restroom credit was $5 each. This is insane. The principal called it time management training, which didn't make any sense. It's more like a human rights violation. Well, that's when a student named Marcus, what's up, realized that the school just created the most valuable currency on campus. "Okay, I got 2 credits left. I'll trade them for your pre-calc answers and your lunch." "Okay, cool, yeah, deal." Marcus became this bladder broker of sorts. "Hey bro, you never pee, right?" "No, just once before school and once at night." "I'll buy your credits off you." He would either trade these credits or sell them to students who were having an emergency for a massive markup. Now the crazy part is, he began trading, buying, and selling these credits very obviously in front of teachers in the hallway because his plan was to get caught. So when the principal did catch on, "Marcus, I know what you're doing." "Oh, you do you? You cannot be trading, buying, or selling these bathroom credits." "Well, what are you gonna do about it, huh?" "Oh, well, you're gonna get in big trouble." "No, you're not, because listen up. You got a few options here. You can punish me, but then I'll go to the school board, tell them that you're charging students $5 to use the bathroom. Or you can let me continue and do nothing about it. Or your last and honestly best option, get rid of the credit system. It's a human rights violation, you frickin' idiot." Out of my office now. By the next morning, the bathroom credit system was gone. And honestly, it was all thanks to Marcus. Mr. Donnelly was the new history teacher. Perfectly combed hair, crisp tie, he was very well put together. Then one day, one kid finds him on a bodybuilding website. Apparently, Mr. Donnelly used to compete in bodybuilding competitions. Well, he saw this picture of him, spray tan, oiled up, posing like a bodybuilder, and his bodybuilding name was Titan Steel. Well, this kid tells a bunch of people in his class, and the next morning, "Good morning, class, how are we doing today?" "Good morning, Titan Steel." He's shocked. "Excuse me?" "Oh, sorry, Mr. Donnelly." And by lunch, everybody knew Mr. Donnelly's secret. "Hey, Mr. Steel, you gonna bench the vending machine?" "What you got for lunch today, Titan? A bunch of chicken breasts and protein powder?" Oh my god. And he's hearing it all day, every day, whispers of Titan Steel this, Titan Steel that. By January, he freaking snaps. "If one more person says that name, I am quitting Titan Steel." The next day, he was gone and there was a sub. He actually quit that job. I guess he would rather be unemployed than be Titan Steel. Wow, that's absolutely insane. 1 week before winter break, the principal called an assembly. If the entire school can go 1 whole week without any write-ups, on Friday will be a free day. Students were like, all right, heck yeah. Nobody thought they would actually do it because that sounds almost impossible. The entire school behaving well enough to not get write-ups. But 3 days in, it was working. I can't believe everyone's going along with this. It's nice. I got milk in my backpack. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, everybody behaved. For the most of Thursday, things were going fine. But people were like, holy crap, we're gonna do this. So of course there was one kid that couldn't help himself. Yo, dude, you good? I think I'm gonna ruin it. No, you're not. You're fine, dude. Just don't do anything. No, I wanna ruin it. It was 10 minutes before the bell rings. This kid goes in front of the principal's office and picks a fight with the secretary. I'm gonna leave early. No, you're not. You don't have a note. Yeah? Well, note this. Did you just knock over my pencil holder? Shut up, idiot. That's it. You are getting a write-up. Principal comes out, this kid gets a write-up, and the entire week was a waste. Friday wasn't a free day. And once the rest of the students found out what this kid did, they gave him hell for the rest of the year. Why would he do that? It's 1 a.m. at Ryan's birthday sleepover. I'm Ryan. Pizza boxes everywhere, video games on the TV, and then Ryan falls asleep. Hey, yo, birthday boy fell asleep first. Do we have to mess with him? And so they did. One kid grabs a permanent marker and begins drawing stuff on his face. No. Another kid takes the entire bag of Cheetos and begins dumping it on his chest and putting Cheetos in his pockets. Cheetos here, some Cheetos there, mountain of Cheetos right here, Cheetos in your pocket. Nice. Then one kid takes a raw hot dog out of the fridge and puts it in his ear. Yeah, hot dog. And that's what woke him up. What's going on? Why am I covered in Cheetos? Don't look in the mirror. What do you mean? But the thing is, Ryan didn't see this as some sort of lighthearted prank. He saw red and began freaking the absolute heck out. You guys are dead. He begins throwing stuff all around the basement. Plates are shattering, windows broken. He takes the tiniest kid there, named Jensen. I'm Jensen. Picks him up and throws him at the flat screen TV. Jensen's fine, he's got a couple bruises, but the TV is destroyed, and pretty much so is the entire basement. His parents then wake up, come downstairs to see what's going on, and they freak out as well. They send everybody home, and Ryan was grounded for a month. So this guy's at a crowded park, and there's a bunch of food trucks set up. There's no tables, no benches. Everyone's just sitting and eating on this concrete wall. Well, there's only one open spot left, and he begins walking towards it. And as he gets closer to this wall, he sees this lady rushing towards it. And she's dressed pretty nice, like she just left church or something. She begins jogging, but he beats her there. He walks up to the wall, and right behind it, in the grass, is a huge pile of dog poop, right where your butt would be if you leaned back too much. So naturally, he decides not to sit down. And at that point, she storms up behind him and says,
Seriously? I was gonna sit there.
Go ahead, have a seat. And she sits down. And then 2 seconds later, she screams. She stands up and this dog poop is smeared all over her back. Oh, she says to this guy,
Why didn't you say anything to me?
I didn't know how you were gonna sit down. I thought you were just gonna perch on the ledge like a normal person. And she storms off, furious. But like she did try to race him there. So one of my subscribers sent this story in, and it's genius how simple it is. This kid started a snack business at his school. He posted the menu in his class group chat. People would place orders in advance, and he had a drop spot and everything. First day, chaos. Everyone showed up, they cleared him out, business was booming. But here's the thing, at his school, snacks weren't allowed, like at all. So when students started eating in their classes, the teachers kind of snapped. Where's all this food coming from? And well, one kid panicked and said, so there's this guy. Bingo snitched, the whole thing traced back to him. Kids who were eating snacks in class were getting detentions, and he was shut down completely. Before it got shut down, he made $30 profit on day one. $30 profit on the first day. That's insane. And he tells me he's not done. He said he's gonna take the risk and relaunch. And see, this is the type of mindset that we need. Because the reality of it, schools teach us to be good workers, to stay quietly at a job for the rest of our lives, and do what the man says. But we don't gotta do that. This kid has entrepreneurship. He's got hustle, baby. He's a subscriber with a vision, and you know what I always say, you gotta respect the hustle. Oh my gosh, we made our first $2. No, we actually made $1. We gotta pay the security guard. Here. In some neighborhoods, kids run lemonade stands. You know, cute little summer businesses, 50 cents a cup, smiles all around. Not on this block though. On this block, you needed protection. Every Saturday in this one neighborhood cul-de-sac area, these kids would all set up their lemonade stands. Some were different. Some had like strawberry lemonade, others had regular lemonade, some was selling like fruit punch. You know, it was a nice little thing that the neighborhood kids were doing. Anyway, they'd be all set up and they're good to go. But then here comes this 8th grader. Bike gloves on, backpack over one shoulder. He pulls up to the first stand. Nice stand you got here. Good traffic spot, nice weather today. Would be a shame if someone knocked it over. The little girl selling lemonade just blinks. She's almost gonna cry. But then her friend says, just give him one of our dollars. Hey, it's just a protection fee, okay? Covers you for the whole day. Accidents happen, you know. Have a good one. And he goes to the next one. You guys paying for protection today? You know, kids are scrambling, they're digging in their shoebox of change. Hands over $1, he nods, pleasure doing business with you. And just like that, he's off to the next lemonade stand. Kid made $12 in fees that Saturday alone. Now, this guy wouldn't just take the money and leave. And although he came off kind of tough and mean, he actually would stay there all day and watch over these lemonade stands. So I guess they actually were paying for protection. Now, it was a pretty nice neighborhood, so nothing ever actually happened. But, hey, you know, you gotta respect the hustle, I guess. Does he, like, ever talk? Nah, not once. All year. So this new kid transfers to the school halfway through the year. Middle school. Kinda tall, quiet, doesn't talk to anybody. At first, people think, well, maybe he's just shy. But then weeks go by, and nothing. Not a word. No volunteering, no answering questions, not even a here during roll call. He does every assignment, he scores high on tests, but still, not a single word. No, it gets to the point where people just stop trying. He's the quiet kid, and that's it. Then one day, it's May. There's a sub in math class. She goes down the roll sheet, gets to his name. Evan. And for the first time all year, he goes, here. The whole room freezes. Did he just, yep, out of his, And that's when his cousin, who's been in the same class the entire time, pulls out a crumpled $50 bill out of his backpack and hands it to this kid. Turns out, back in January, they made a deal. Alright, so you're transferring to my school after the holidays. I bet you can't go the rest of the year without saying a word. Well, I bet you I can. They made a frickin' bet. If he had lost the bet, he would have had to eat a raw onion. $50 and his cousin buys him a meal from Cane's. Good deal to me. It started as a punishment. This one school made a new rule called silent lunch. No talking, no whispering, no noise. Principal said it was to help students reset their behavior, but it didn't reset anything. It just made kids miserable. Lunch felt like a detention. Everybody just sat there, chewing. In complete silence. Plastic spoons hitting trays, a single juice box slurp from down the way. But this one kid, he had an idea. The next day, he walked in quietly. He opened his lunchbox, and he pressed a button on this little speaker. It was bird sounds, like the kind you hear in nature. It wasn't music, it was like a calm forest vibe. The teachers looked over, but they didn't say anything. It technically wasn't talking, and it technically wasn't breaking the rules. So he did it again and again. By the end of the week, 3 other kids were bringing in their speakers as well. One kid played rainforest noises, another kid played waterfall sounds. This one dude was playing a recording of whale noises. And the wild part, it worked. The lunchroom got calmer, but not in a weird way. It felt peaceful. Students were sitting in silence, eating to ambient waterfall loops and jungle bird noises. The teachers were like, honestly, this is not bad. People were loving this. The next week, the principal walked in and froze. The lights were dim. Some kid brought a lava lamp. And this lunchroom, this silent lunchroom, had turned into a full-blown spa. He just stood there blinking, smiled to himself, turned around and left. He thought, maybe I actually did something here. This is nice. And no one said a word. You know, that's actually amazing. She really did that? Yup. Well, let's get her fired. There was this one teacher. Strict, rude, completely unpredictable. She'd take off points for sloppy handwriting, dock your grade if you turned something in 5 seconds late, and she would also lose assignments like it was nothing. Steven, where's your homework? I literally turned it in. Well, I can't find it, so no, you didn't. At first, everybody rolled with it, but she kept pushing. Like one time, she graded a full assignment a 0 because the kid printed it double-sided. It's harder for me to read. I can't even read this. The moment these kids really snapped, though, was when a student turned in a 3-page paper. It was perfectly done, but he forgot to staple it, and there was no stapler in the classroom. What the heck is 0? Why? Life has consequences. Next time, remember the staple. And that's the point when the class was like, nah, they were done. They started screenshotting their grades, along with the assignment that the grade was for. They recorded her when she was yelling at students. They would save emails that she would send to them where she contradicted herself or made herself look like a horrible teacher. This one kid had a folder on his laptop called Operation Bring Her Down. Once they got a bunch of evidence, they printed everything and put it into a very big packet. They labeled the packet, Why She Shouldn't Teach. They brought it to the office, and they waited. 3 weeks later, a sub walks into their classroom. No explanation, just, hey everybody, my name is Mr. Johnny, and I'm gonna be your sub for the rest of the year. Okay, your teacher had to go, or something. Okay. She was gone. They did it. No goodbye, no warning, just a pleasant surprise on a Thursday afternoon. Hey, I mean, if she was a horrible teacher, good riddance, right? They're better off. Black markets kids ran in their schools, a subscriber submission. At this person's middle school, the lunchroom never served any sides with any of their meals. So if they were serving hot dogs, it was just a hot dog. Burgers, it was just the burgers. Pizza, just the pizza. Well, the kids at the school thought this was bogus. Every good lunch needs a side. So this guy had a brilliant idea. Every morning before school, he would heat up a bunch of French fries in his air fryer. And I'm talking a lot of French fries. He would then put them in an insulated pack so they stayed warm. And at lunch, he would sell them to other students. It was an immediate hit. Business was, you know what I'm gonna say, booming. On average, he was making $100 a day. This went on for weeks. You can imagine how much money he was making. One day the school found out what he was doing, but they didn't shut it down. They were impressed. So they gave him his own stand to run during lunch, where he would sell the fries that he made. All in all, he had made over $10,000. When this kid was in middle school, he bought a shoe customization kit, and he was skilled enough to design stuff like this on people's shoes. Well, he decided to start a business. He charged kids $10 for him to customize their shoes. But more and more people started getting interested in this, and business started booming. So he raised his price to $50 per customization. Things were going great, and he was running this business for 3 months. Until one day, the vice principal walked in on him in the bathroom designing some shoes. The vice principal saw him and told him that he had to ask the principal if he could continue. Well, the principal said, yeah, for sure, keep going. And he did. He continued this business for 7 months. But then one day, a school board official was visiting the school, and the school board official caught him in the bathroom as well. He was then shut down completely. In total, he made about $11,000. That's insane. When this kid was in 6th grade, he asked his teachers if he could get paid to clean up gum from under desks and chairs. They said sure. So he was getting paid $5 every time he cleaned up gum. Well, the principal found out about this and asked him if he could clean up the gum from under the tables in the lunchroom. He said sure. It was a nice little side hustle, but then he had a brilliant idea. He was gonna start selling gum. So he started buying these packs. This one's only $5 from Target. It's 8 packs with 15 pieces of gum in each pack. That's 120 pieces of gum, and he sold each piece of gum for 50 cents. He was making $60 after selling one whole thing of gum. But here's the kicker. Every time he sold somebody a piece of gum, he asked them when they were done with the gum if they could put it underneath desks or the lunchroom tables. So he would have to clean up the gum more often and make even more money. Black markets kids ran in their schools. At this kid's school, for some reason, the cafeteria didn't season anything. The food tasted frickin' bland as heck. And obviously, people like their food to taste good. So one kid had a brilliant idea. He went on Amazon and bought a bunch of those salt and pepper packets. He took that to school and he sold them 50 cents each. So if kids wanted 1 salt and 1 pepper packet, that would be $1. He was selling these salt and peppers left and right, and kids were happy. Everyone was like, yay, no more bland food. You're our hero, man. Yeah, you're our hero. He only did this for a few days before a school administrator shut him down. But in just a few short days, he made over $300. Gotta respect the hustle. Businesses kids ran in their school. When this kid was in 5th grade, his parents always bought packets of those mini bites muffins, which personally I love. But for some reason, these muffins made this kid's throat hurt. But no matter how many times he told his parents, they still continued to buy those muffins. Every day, this kid's parents would put a pack of those muffins in his lunchbox, and every day during lunch, he would throw those muffins away because he did not like them, like I said. Well, one day a kid saw him throwing those away. Hey bro, why are you throwing those away? He said, I don't like them at all. They make my throat hurt, but my parents keep buying them, so I just throw them away. Well, that's when this kid said, dude, those are awesome. Why would you throw them away? I bet you many kids would buy those. And he got an idea. He soon started selling them. He began asking his parents to give him 2 for lunch every day instead of 1. And he gathered a bunch up. His parents had to start buying more boxes of these muffins because they thought their kid loved them. But little did they know, he was gathering a stockpile of these muffins up in his locker so he could sell them to students. And that's exactly what he did. He sold them to students, sometimes for $2 a bag, sometimes for $5 a bag. Sometimes, depending on how desperate somebody was, he would sell it for $15 a bag. And he ran this business for a few years. He kept a notebook of how much he made. And from 5th grade until the end of middle school, he made around $3,500. Gotta respect the hustle. No one's buying my bags of chips. I bought so much to sell at school today, but I haven't sold one. Bro, it's because everyone goes to the vending machine. Are your chips cheaper than the vending machine? No, man, they're more expensive. I'm trying to make bank. No, I don't know what to tell you, bro. Fine, man. Hold on. I have an idea. Hello, vending machine, my enemy. Shut your mouth. I'm gonna unplug you. Oh, I'm gonna unplug you. And now I wait.
Excuse me, I just want to get to the vending machine.
Unfortunately, it's out of order. It's not working.
Oh, really? I wanted some barbecue chips so bad.
You're in luck today. I actually have a bag full of chips for sale. $4.
$4? The vending machine's only $2.
Well, the vending machine isn't working, is it?
Fine, I'll take them. Here.
And here you go. Tell your friends. Today's gonna be a good day. A woman was living inside a family fair sign in Michigan. On April 23rd last month, some contractors were working on something at this family fair store in Michigan when they noticed a very long extension cord leading up to the roof. They got to the roof, and they saw the cord going directly into the small door of the family fair sign. They decided to knock on the door, and that's when they heard a woman's voice. They were obviously startled, so they called the police.
Yeah, I was trying to get my stuff so I can get down right away. I'm moving out of here in 24 hours to get away from all of this.
You're coming out right now.
The inside of the sign was about 5 feet by 8 feet, and this woman had been living there for a year. She had put flooring down. There was a Keurig coffee machine, a small bed with bedding, her clothes, a mini desk, and a printer. And all of this stuff was powered by that extension cord. They called her the Roof Ninja.
It's not too bright out here, that's good.
Okay, this is hilarious. My follower sent me this story. She said that one day she was at her boyfriend's house when she had to go poop very bad. I have to go to the bathroom. Well, the bathroom is right next to her boyfriend's bedroom, so she figured she'd have to be quiet, otherwise he would know she was pooping. So she goes in there and sits down. What is that? She sees that the bathtub is full of water. So she asks her boyfriend, hey, so the bathtub's full of water. Is someone taking a bath or something? Or am I still good to go in there? He responds, yeah, my sister's really pregnant and she's gonna give birth at home, and that bathtub is for the water birth. Oh, okay. Obviously that's kind of weird, but she goes to the bathroom anyway and she starts pooping. And mid-push, the door bursts open. Oh, it's coming! The baby's coming! Talk about embarrassing. Black markets kids ran in their schools, a follower submission. When this kid was in middle school, he ran a study guide business. And these weren't your run-of-the-mill study guides. These were well-detailed, easy-to-cover documents that covered every single major test and quiz for the whole school. He had a group of students working for him. They were called the contributors. They would help him write and construct these study guides. He sold these study guides for $10 to $20 depending on the test. He also hired some of the bigger kids in school to be the muscle. The muscle kept the blacklisted kids from playing any playground games, like basketball or soccer. Kids could be blacklisted for a number of reasons, like borrowing a study guide and never paying back what's due, or for lending a study guide to any non-paying individual. This dude sent me screenshots of the documents he actually used. This is the terms and conditions that came with every single study guide. Pause if you want to read. This is the blacklist Excel sheet. He even had an employment contract for every single one of his employees. He was very efficient. He made about $100 a week, and $600 a week for the bigger tests. And all I can say is for middle school, this is one hell of a business. The dumbest reasons people got in trouble at work. This guy was chilling at home when he got a call from a manager of a company. Hello? Oh, hello, Greg. The answers. Well, Greg, you didn't show up for work today, and honestly, I have had enough of your bullcrap. You are a disgrace to the Comcast company. You're ignorant, you're selfish, you're incredibly selfish, you waste all of our time. Your mother would be so disappointed in you, Greg. You can be quiet. What do you have to say for yourself? The call went on for a while, but the thing was, my name isn't Greg, and I definitely don't work at Comcast. I actually just started at Dairy Queen last week, so... But good luck to Greg, huh? Sounds like he's in big trouble. Okay, bye. God darn it. Can somebody give me Greg's phone number? I don't think I have it, but why don't you just ask him what his number is? He's sitting at his desk. Wait, he's here today? Yeah, it's his birthday today. He brought everyone donuts. I had like 3. Shit. Have you ever caught a stranger in your house? Well, here's the story. This girl said that her friend Jenna had just moved into a very nice condo, and she finally got to check out her friend's new place. When she arrived at her friend's new condo, her friend was still at work. So her friend told her, yeah, I'll be off soon, just let yourself in. There's a key under the plant out front. Oh, yep, there it is. All right, see you soon. So she let herself into her friend's condo and decided to make herself a sandwich. So she's eating her sandwich, walking around, checking out all the nice stuff her friend has, when all of a sudden the front door opened and a large man with a duffel bag walks in. Oh my God! She threw the sandwich at him and locked herself in the bedroom. She's in there scared. She's shaking. The man's banging on the door. Get out of the room right now! Get out! No, you get out! I'm gonna call the police! You're gonna call the police? I'm gonna call the police! That's when she thought something was off. Why would he call the police? She then looks around and realizes the bedroom definitely seems to be that of a man's bedroom. She then asks him through the door, "Do you know who Jenna is?" "Yeah, she's my next door neighbor." Turns out this guy also kept a spare key under the potted plant out front. What a crazy situation. Black Market's kids ran in their schools, a subscriber submission. In 4th grade at his school, they had something called a breakfast break. It was kind of like lunch, but for breakfast. Well, during this break, him and his friends would sell energy drinks, chips, candy, snacks, you name it. And they would sell it out of a cardboard cutout of a store. Well, business was kind of slow. Until one day, the popular kid walked by and bought an energy drink. They thought nothing of it. But apparently, this popular kid had a great customer experience. So he told all of his friends about this breakfast break convenience store these kids set up. And guess what? Their business absolutely skyrocketed. And then one day during that break, everybody came to get some snacks from their little store. This dude said it became a riot. People were fighting each other. Teachers were freaking out because it was like 200 kids in the hallway and that's a fire hazard. Some kids wanted to buy stuff so bad that they threw firecrackers in the crowd to scare some kids away. Well, eventually this business was shut down by one of the teachers. Well, he said that the teacher that shut him down stole all their candy and ate it with her coworkers. But in total, they made $700. At this one high school football game, there was a student who decided to do something crazy that day. The person that shared this story said it was a Friday night and they were at the school football game, when all of a sudden, a student decided to put on a banana costume and run across the field during the game. Well, the school wanted to expel him, and once the students heard about this, things got crazy. A hashtag was started. Hashtag Free Banana Man. Kids were making custom t-shirts, chanting Free Banana Man at lunch. It was a whole thing. Well, the principal didn't like any of this happening, so he placed a school-wide ban on anything related to Banana Man. This included the t-shirts, the chants, bananas themselves, and even the color yellow. Eventually, the parents stepped in. Banana Man was allowed to come back to school, and the principal, whether this be a coincidence or not, resigned the following year. Black Market's kids ran in their schools. Another peanut butter and jelly story. So this one high school had a cafe, and the cafe sold peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for $4 each. $4 for a PB&J. That's insane. Well, one student had a great idea, and it's kind of similar to a previous story I told. She bought bread, peanut butter, and jelly, and left it in her locker. And all people had to do was shoot her a text if they wanted a PB&J. They would go to her locker and she would make them one. For only $2 each. Well, the students loved this. It was super convenient and business was absolutely booming. Well, the school shut her down pretty quick. They said that she was taking away business from somebody that needed the money more. What?
কালকে সারা রাত তোমার আমি কল দিচ্ছি।
সারা রাত? তাহলে আপনি শুনুন আপনার ভালোবাসার মানুষের অতীত বর্তমান। পাগল কোন একদম ঠিক হয় না, ওনার ব্যথা লাগে নাই?
ব্যথা তো বেশি তুহিন।
তুহিনের ব্যথা লাগছে মানে?
বন্ধু তুই চিন্তা করিস না রে, ভাবির মন ঠিকই গলে যাবে।
ভাবির মন তো ঘুরবে কিন্তু আরে না 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 দো সম্ভব না। গাড়ি ঘুরা তো।
হঠাৎ আমার বাসার নিচে কোনো জরুরি দরকার?
তুমি কি আজকে কোচিং এ যাও নাই? সুন্দর মতো যাবি, ভাবির নামটা জিজ্ঞাসি। আর শুন, ভালো মতো কথা কইবে, ভাবি লাগে। খালি থাপড় আর চাপাবাজি, এই বাদে আর কিছু পাছস? বুকিং মানে বুকিং? তুমি আমার, আমি তোমার, বুকিং দিয়ে দিছি ফাইনাল।
আমাকে বুকিং দিছে মানে আমাকে কে বুকিং দিছে দোস্ত? তোর যে আশিক আছে না, এখন তো আমার পিছনে লাগছে। আমার তো অনেক ভয় লাগতেছে দোস্ত। এই যে আস্তে আস্তে সব মানুষ জানবে, তারপর আমার ফ্যামিলিকেও জানাই দিবে। আর আমার
বেস্ট অফ লাক ফর ডক্টরশিপ। আমি দোয়া করি তুমি যেন একজন ভালো ডক্টর হও।
আমার কাছে জিনের বাচ্চার নাম্বার আছে। জিনের বাচ্চা
করতে চাস নাকি ইটিস পিটিস করতে চাস? বদতমিজ। হ্যালো বন্ধু, আমার রোদে দিছস? এই তো দিছি তো, ঠিক মতো রোদে দিছস?
কি শুনতে চান? আমি আপনাকে ভালোবাসি।
হ্যালো,
হেই হোয়াটস আপ প্র্যাঙ্ক ম্যান?
কে?
একটু হলেই তো তোমার ফোন হাওয়া হয়ে যেত।
তুই তোর ফোন আর কোনোদিন পাবি না।
কেন?
তোর বাবা তো তোর ফোনটাকে একদম আসার দিয়ে ভেঙে শেষ, এমনকি পানিতে চুবাইছে।
আউট অফ কিউরিওসিটি হয়তো দেখা করব, বাট আই এম নট দ্যাট মাচ ইজি, অলওয়েজ রিমেম্বার।
আজকে যদি তারা না থাকতো আজকে তো দিতাম একদম। এই খালি স্কার্টেন গার্ডেন।
এই যে আপু, এসব গার্ডেন ফার্ডেন যায় না, আমার ভাই ব্রাদাররা আছে, আপনার একদম কামড়ায় দিবে। না 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 ব্রো, এই যে আপনার ফোন প্র্যাঙ্ক ছিল ব্রো, চিল চিল চিল। রাকিব ভাই, আপনি এসআই রাকিব ভাই না? আপনার কথা আমি অনেক শুনছি। আচ্ছা, আপনি কিন্তু মানে বুঝের লোক। টেজে তোলেন।
এই হোসেন আলী, ক্যামেরা
আগেই কইছিলাম আমার বস ফেমাস।
হ্যাঁ ভাই একটু যদি ধরতে।
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ শিওর।
তো কিভাবে যে কনফার্ম হয়?
এটা তো এদিকে না, 3 নাম্বার গেট ওইদিকে, শঙ্কর গলি বোধহয় গেটের বাইরে। আপনি ভুল আসছেন, যান।
ভুল আসছে, কিন্তু আমি কি চিনতে পারবো?
ও আচ্ছা, আপনি দ্যাট বোরখা গার্ল।
চিনতে পেরেছো তাহলে না?
আই লাইক গুড গার্লস। ফলো করতে ফলো কর, যা। এতে কই যায় দেখবি, যা। সারা জীবনে প্রথম কাউরে প্র্যাঙ্ক করতে যায়, নিজেই আজকে প্র্যাঙ্ক হয়ে গেল।
তুমি আমাকে বলেছো যে তুমি তোমার কোনো বয়ফ্রেন্ড নাই।
না না, বয়ফ্রেন্ড না, আমি ওনার বয়ফ্রেন্ড, আমি ওর ফিয়ান্সে। ওর সাথে আমার বিয়ে নেক্সট।
ও আচ্ছা আচ্ছা,
আমার জন্য?
এটা তোমার জন্য একটা নতুন ফোন দিলাম।
এই জন্য তাহলে তোমরা এতক্ষণ নাটক করছো?
নাটক না, তোমার ফোনটা পুরনো হয়ে গেছে।
কেন
নতুন ফোন।
আমরা প্র্যাঙ্ক করতে পারি না?
একটা ইম্পর্টেন্ট কথা ছিল তোমার সাথে। এমন করলে কেমন হয় যদি এই এন্টারটেইনমেন্ট জার্নিতে আমি জয়েন করি তোমার সাথে?
তুমি পড়ো, ঘুমাও তাহলে। গুড নাইট আর বাই।
সহজে কোনো কিছু পাওয়ার মজা নাই, কিন্তু আমগো দোষ জিসান কি কম।
ও
ভাবি লাগে বেটা, লজ্জা লাগে না?
কি ওর কথা বাদ দে,
পারো তুই যা।
জামুই তো। তুই চুপ থাক।
আমি তো আপনাকে চিনি না।
চিনো না যে আজকে চিনলা, আরো চিনবা, আস্তে আস্তে চিনবা। আর শুনো,
আরে বেন সাহেব, নতুন নতুন সম্বন্ধ তো তাই চিনতে পারেন নাই। ওই যে আপনার বান্ধবী তুলি আছে না?
আমার তাহলে বিশাল বিপদ। আমি তাহলে কোচিং এ কেমনে যাব? পড়াশোনা কিভাবে করব? আমার তো ভয় লাগতেছে।
কি খবর?
আসসালামু আলাইকুম।
ওয়ালাইকুম আসসালাম। কি খবর? 3 2 1। আর আজকে রাত 10টা। হ্যাঁ,
রক্ত জ্ঞান।
ইতিহাস লিখবো, ভালোবাসার ইতিহাস।
ভালো আছি, আপনি ভালো আছেন?
আমি তো ভালো আছি। তো তোমার বোন কোথায়?
আচ্ছা একটা মিনিট, আমি কল দিচ্ছি। এক রাতেই ভালো হয়ে গেল, এটাও আমার বিশ্বাস করতে হবে? দোস্ত আমার না ভয় লাগতেছে।
এই কি করবি? সেই না চেহারা, না হলো কি চেহারা, কথা তো বেশি, চেহারা ওরকম বেশি।
আপনি না শুই না না দেখা সব জানা ফেলছেন বাবা।